This is the VOXENGO tube amp, and this is what it sounds like. So this is a great sounding little plug-in, and is also a lot more flexible than it might appear to be. Although I did find one small problem, but we'll come back to that a little later in the video. The first thing you may notice about the plug-in is just how small it is, or relatively small, but it can be resized. So we just go to this button here, opens up this page. And what we're looking for in here is UI scale, or user interface scale. By default, it's on 100%. We click that. And in here we got various preset sizes, as you can see. So we go for 150%. And X out of this page. Now, as you can see, the plugin hasn't gotten any bigger. However, first thing you have to do is close it. And then open it again. We now have it at 150%, much better size. Let's have a closer look at the plugin. We're going to start here, where we got modes. Mode 1, you can see when we move the drive, it's really not doing an awful lot until we really push the drive. So this is the more subtle mode. And then there's just one more mode. And now as we adjust the drive, you can see we're getting lots of harmonics, both odd and even. Next up we have bias, and as we alter this, it alters the harmonics produced by the drive. So the idea here is that you use the bias to find the sweet spot for your drive settings. Now this, it has to be said, for the most part anyway, is pretty subtle. Next to this we have a low pass filter, which you can use if you want to get that kind of lo-fi sound. Next to that we have a dry mix, which I'm sure needs no explanation, and finally an output gain. Now using the VOXENGO tube amp is basically simplicity itself. First of all, you just choose a mode. In this case I'm going to choose mode 2. And we're going to start with the drive. Let's have a listen. Okay. Then use your bias, see if you can find a sweet spot in it. And of course, turn down the output, it's gotten a little bit louder. Go to top right for the bypass button. Now, I did say that the plugin is flexible, so allow me to explain that one. Now, by default, the plugin works in stereo, but it has got multi-channel capability. So if we go to this button here, and we click, we get a menu. Now, by default, of course, it's in stereo. But you can also do 5.1 surround, which of course is 6 channels, all the way up to 7.1 surround, which is 8 channels. But as we mostly work in stereo, there are 2 others in here that are actually of interest to us. We've got dual mono. This allows us to affect both the left and the right separately to each other. And we got mid-side, which of course allows us to affect the mid and the side separately to each other. So let's see how that works. Let's go for mid-side. Now if you go to this button here, you can switch between mid and side. Okay, let's start with side. Okay, that's really nice. Nice feeling of depth in there. Bring down this volume just a little. Let's go to mid. Go again. Drive. And again the output gain just a little, keep things under control. And bypass to have a listen. Really nice difference, lovely sounding plugin. Now I did mention at the beginning that I ran into a small problem. So have a look. For the mid, we've got an output gain. And for the side, we've got an output gain. But we don't have a global output gain or a master output. Now this can make setting up the plugin just a little tricky when you're using it for mid-side, but also if you're using it for dual mono. It's a small niggle, but it would have made more sense to have one on there. Having said that, you are getting a really lovely sounding plugin for free. I'll leave the link in the description, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.